What is up, everybody? I get a lot of comments on my videos asking what tools I use, usually on like the polishing and delicate task types of videos. I just bought a new set of files, so I figured I would make a quick video showing what I use and why. Now, when people ask, I can direct them to this video. This is not really about the general tools like, screwdrivers, pliers, wrenches, hex keys, hammers, punches, bench blocks, vise, trigger pull gauge, etc. This is more about the tools I use for delicate tasks like hammer-fired pistol trigger work, polishing, fine-tuning, component fitting, and smoothing out. I will drop some links in the description to the tools that I bought. Keep in mind, I'm not trying to sell you anything or encourage you to buy what I have. None of these are affiliate links. These are just the tools that I have found work best for me over some 10-ish years of hobbyist gunsmithing. Now, if you are a professional gunsmith doing this 40 or 50 hours a week, you would probably buy professional tools. I do a good deal of gunsmithing, but I am a hobbyist. So I buy cheaper tools. They generally hold up fine. I do spend a little bit more money here and there where it counts, and I will discuss that when I get to those specific tools. Anyways, let's get into it. Hey, first and foremost, yeah, you should have some fucking safety glasses and wear them. All right, stuff I use for measurement all the time. Calipers and feeler gauges. Neither of these are expensive. These were like 40 bucks. I've had them for years and years and years. They continue to work. They're accurate enough for the majority of anything I would need to do on a firearm. Again, just a cheap set of feeler gauges, I think from Amazon, a few bucks. Files. So I had this set of like Otis gunsmithing files. Like Wheeler makes one too. This is like $9. I've had it for like 4 or 5 years, and like they've been fine. They've held up okay. They're getting to the point, like one of them broke. They're getting a little bit worn out, so it was time to buy new ones. But needle files are primarily what I use for fine work, and so I got a number 0 cut, which is medium fine. I got a number 2 cut, which is fine, and a number 4 cut, which is very fine. Each one of these sets is only $8 on McMaster. And like these are going to hold up for what I need to do. I think this is also number 0 cut, so like medium fine, and it has teeth on the edges here and here, larger work surface. So you can see it's pretty fucking beat up, but like it still works. I don't ever really need to take off more material than this. This is a new file. This is a more expensive one. It's from a company called Nicholson. I got it from McMaster, but like, okay, like this one file is like 25 bucks or something, right? That's where I'll spend a little bit extra money. A nice, fine number 2 cut file with dead sides. So if you're resting it on something to try to keep something square up against your work, you're not going to take material off where you don't want it. Nice, fine, round file. I think this is also from Nicholson. This was, 15, 20 bucks, something like that. And then I have some specialty files that I don't use very often. This one is specific to 1911 slide and frame rails. And a file card, just a little fine wire brush to get gunk out of your file teeth. Another type of round file that I'll mention, like this is a very specific one that I bought, but also like you can get a set of like cheaper chainsaw chain files. They go from like 1/8 inch up to like 1/4 inch or something like that, and they're generally pretty fine and sharp. Stones. So this is a set of fine India stones. I think these are equivalent to like 1500 grit. Got this set off Amazon for like probably less than $10. I've had it for like 5 years. It still keeps working. There are a bunch of different sizes, which are helpful. And then I spent a little bit more money on a nice, very fine ceramic stone from Brownells. I think this is equivalent to like 3000 grit. It pretty much leaves a mirror finish on your part, and it has very sharp corners on it. So like this is what I use for polishing 90-degree hammer hooks without, rounding out the inside corner or something like that. I did have another set of more coarse stones, and I just don't use those anymore. Like if I need to take more material off of a part than these guys, like I'm just getting a really nice fine file. Lapping compound. I think this stuff is for like polishing jewelry or something, but it's diamond lapping compound, 1050 grit, 1500 and 3000 grit. And I think it was like, these tubes are like $10 a piece. But again, I've had this for probably over a year, and I've used like, what, 1/5 of it. I use this stuff a lot for lapping and slides. Another thing I do is like, if you want to polish a sear face or hammer hooks, you can put it on a toothpick and rub the toothpick with this on the sear face, and it won't change the geometry because the wood is soft. Sometimes I take this and it's a little bit not chunky, but it's pretty thick, and so sometimes I'll mix it together with some alcohol to kind of make a thinner slurry to get it where I need it. I do that with slide lapping. Sandpaper, use a lot of this. Go down to your local auto parts store, get some of this shit. 600 grit is pretty much the coarsest I use. Sometimes I'll use 400, but not very often. And then 1000 grit and 2000 grit. Dremel tools, treat yourself. Buy yourself a Dremel tool. I have two of them. I have this bigger one for heavier duty work. A lot of times it works better with the polishing. This one is so sweet. It's like a little like pen-sized one, and it's just awesome. Each one of these is like $50, right? Like it's not that expensive. Polishing kit, bunch of different just cotton buffing pads of different shapes and sizes, and the little shank they come on, fine, medium, and coarse. Polishing compounds. Here's another little kit of some like detailed like engraving and grinding tools that I use pretty frequently. Sometimes these cutoff wheels if I need to like shorten a screw or something, but I mainly use a lot of these sanding drums, both the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch diameter. And then, you know, I got some other little like carbide ball nose cutters and things in there of that nature. So as always with power tools or like Dremels, like you got to be careful. You can get yourself into trouble by hogging on something too much, but they work really good if you use them for their intended purpose and you're careful with them. So I think that pretty much covers the stuff that I use for like detailed work, trigger jobs, polishing, you know, cutting fine geometry, smoothing up components, installing components, things like that. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. Hope this was helpful in some way. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.